Yes, people. Welcome to Never a Foul. As you can see, half of us are here, and you can kind of work out for yourself who is late and who isn't. It's funny that there's a man called Daps in the house, and he's still not even here because he's too busy chatting to the graphic designer. But we're early. Look, even Ty's here before him. I can't believe it.
Wow, I got yard before Daps and jumped on, yeah?
That's mental. It's absolutely
he's walking from the backyard to the room. It just takes long.
I got home, I did a number, and I jumped on.
Wow.
I'm impressed with myself.
Yeah, impressing yourself. Is he impressed? Are you impressed?
Here he is. Daps knew that I was jumping on. Like Daps, I said I got home, I done a number.
You haven't shit, you ain't shit for shit.
Bro, real talk.
If you have, you shit your pants in the car.
I've done it. I wiped my battery with a leaf. No, I'm joking.
Bro, I've done that when I was young, real talk.
Real talk.
Yeah. Bro, summer holidays in Manchester. We used to have a camp that was like an hour away from civilization. If one of my brethren shit out the tree just for vibes.
Oh my! I apologize.
Bro. Oh, we're live. Oh man.
Yeah, we're live.
Real talk, bro. Yeah. Real talk, bro. We were like 10, 11.
Let's all get into them stories. I've done a few funny ones as well.
Everyone in here.
Bro, don't get me started. I'll talk about
the struggle was real in the ends.
Anyways,
reckless days as children. Happy birthday, me, by the way.
Yeah. First of all, happy birthday to Daps. The big 32 today, if people didn't know. So happy birthday. Obviously, I've known him a long time. He knows my brother and that. So on a personal level, it's good to see us do the channel together with obviously Cass, Mo, and Soups as well. But see the growth in Daps and see us to come together to actually do something good for you guys in the comments watching. Now, big up Daps, man, and wishing you blessings for many more years, brother.
Sir. So, better than I got off of Mo and Cass all day.
Actually,
great sliders. To be fair,
I got a question. It's your birthday. You ordered food. Did you get all your food, or did they eat your chicken?
So, I've still got my food. To be fair, I've been so busy. I got my food after my trim, and I haven't ate it yet because I've been on shows and then gassing to you lot. So I've still got my curry goat. We got wings. Here's Soups.
Yeah.
I got some jerk wings and extortionate Bedford prices. 5 wings for. I had 2. Mo had 2. I saved Cass 1 because Cass was on a stream and he was like, I've got my curry goat. I can't eat things and get my hands dirty. Mo walked in the kitchen and I go, that's Cass's, and he just picked it up, and so they're so damn nice, and just ate it. So these two were just
wait, is that what you did, Mo?
No, on my life, that's exactly how it happened as well. Mo, don't lie.
Hey, Mo, when you bring in the cake again,
would you hold on? Did you believe him? You just believed him. That's you know what? That is. Who do
you want me to swear on? Who do you want me to swear on, Mo?
So let me tell you exactly. So he told the truth. The sequence is wrong. I picked it up, took a bite, and then he said, I saved that for Cass. So
you're right, actually. You'd have one bite.
The sequence is wrong. He said the sequence is wrong.
You're good. You are right, to be fair. They were banging, though, Cass.
To be honest, it's my first time to eat Caribbean food. You know that? Ever.
Caribbean? Wow. Interesting. I like the way you said it as well. Caribbean. Okay.
He's like you're mocking him.
All right.
It's kind of weird, but
it's kind of
Mo's thinking. Mo's thinking. I'm sure I said it right, but Mo, I like.
Mo looks hella civilized, you know.
It's a Caribbean food. What are you guys?
We even did a little tongue twist there. Caribbean.
There we go, Mo. There we go.
What is going on here? These people think because they live in England, they speak proper English.
Man's like, I'm closer to the West Indies than you. Shut your mouth.
You spoke English first. You spoke English first. Who created the Latin? The Latin language is a form for the English, right? And where did it deliver to? It delivered to the Britons, yeah?
You guys distorted the English language.
Anyways, it's called
But the only distortion I know about is Robinson.
It's all right. It's all right.
We're not people that says aluminum and what's the other stuff they say as well?
Sidewalk.
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Elevator. Who's easier, lift or elevator?
Lift is easier.
Nah, lift. What is it?
Elevator.
Because it elevates you to different levels.
Hold on, no, bro. Sorry, elevator lift.
But lift is in like lift.
We made the English the English language was given to us. Guess what? We spell stuff like color, and it's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take out one of the letters. That's what
because
we're
gonna do. Color is C-O-L-O-R.
But I threw an H in my daughter's name just for vibes, literally.
Yeah, why not? I mean, why not? Anyways, big up. There's 300 of you in the building. Today we're going to be talking about transfers, and we're going to be talking probably who's looking like the best transfers of the summer, who is going to outperform who, in our opinion, and they have to be currently signed. We're going to do potential signings as well. The whole title as well, is Timber looking like can he be a better signing than Rice this season, especially because of valuation, which is a big point. We're going to have to bring into consideration ability as well, and even Prem experience. And there's obviously more to it. Is Jackson got the potential to be the best signing this summer if he continues the way he's actually thriving at this moment in his Chelsea team, especially with no pressure? Remember, pressure is a thing. We have to even take that into account. Kovacic is probably a name that hasn't been on no one's lips, but no one's actually, you could say, it's gone under the radar. And who's going to have the biggest impact? Who impacts who the biggest or the most, you could say?
Can I just say what's going to happen tonight? Because it is my birthday and I have had a few drinks. When I come on Never Foul, because of our comments, because I do pay attention to the comments, I try and hold back on certain things. Like Arsenal fans, you're sensitive as hell, so I hold back. I'm not going to today, just to let you know.
Says the Man City fan.
Bro, respectfully, me and
Cass, I didn't say anything.
You see how this guy overreacts and creates a drama? Like, oh my god, bro.
If that disappeared off the stream, he's gone upstairs. By the way,
yeah. And if you hear Mo be thrown out the window, Mo, we watched you watch your team earlier, yeah, and then turn into a moody shit, right? So don't talk about me and my club, Mo Gender. But I will be honest, Chelsea fans, you've been quite good recently, but over the last couple of days, the old Chelsea is coming back, in it, Cass.
100%. And now look, Caicedo's looking like he's off the table as well. People don't know this. Let's just start about that. Since it was a potential signing, it was looking like it could be one of the best signings at this rate. Chelsea don't know if they're going to go in for him or they're going to pull out. They're saying that they don't want to overspend. They're cautious, tired about overspending. And the chairman of I can't remember his name.
Bloom.
Yeah, Tyler Bloom, something like that. Bloom saying that if Declan Rice is worth this amount, then we're not going to go budge from 100 million. And it's even saying along like Caicedo's happy to take another season at Brighton. They'll probably get a better wage. He's going to be in Europe anyways. Yep. Chelsea are going to be in Europe, and he knows he's going to get a big move one way or another. So he's kind of fixed up.
Yeah. Do you know what? To be fair, Caicedo's in a good position because, like you said, they've got Europe, so he's going to get acknowledgement from European clubs. Even if he doesn't want to stay in the Prem, he's going to get European clubs, elite clubs looking at him, probably abroad as well. Brighton are playing a very good brand of football right now. They've got a very good coach. And lastly, I agree with Tony Bloom, man, in terms of like Declan Rice or Caicedo. If you gave me the option at Manchester United, which one would I have? I would definitely be taking Caicedo, even though Declan Rice is the English one. He's just won the European Conference League with West Ham. I prefer Caicedo as a player. I think he's more mobile. I think he wins the ball back brilliantly. I think when he's played us as well, and I'm talking when Manchester United played West Ham and Manchester United played Brighton, every time we've played Brighton, even when McAllister's been in that team, I've always looked to Caicedo as the standout player against Manchester United every single time we've played him. So for me, I think Caicedo, they're right in asking for 100 million, despite Declan Rice, playing in the Prem for West Ham, being captain, winning the European Conference League. I think Caicedo is the better player personally. So 80 million comparing it to Rice for 105. Say again?
Sorry, in the 6 and 8?
I actually think to be fair, Caicedo will be probably more used as a 6, but I haven't seen him used as an 8 a lot. Okay. But it doesn't mean he's not better, because if he was played as an 8, Could he be better than Rice? I wouldn't put it past it.
But you wouldn't. But would you say? And this is a thing that I think with Rice, I think that's a beautiful thing. I'm an advocate of Rice. I think Rice in an 8 his ceiling is so high.
He could be very good.
And I think Rice in a 6 is solid.
Yeah, he's okay.
Right?
Yeah, solid.
Solid.
I
solid
like
in the 6.
Solid in the 6.
And
That's
the
good.
ceiling in the 8, I can't even put, like, being truthful. It might not, I might be wrong, but I think in the 8, I wouldn't even want to put a ceiling on it. I think Rice in an 8 has potential.
Yeah,
to be,
and you know what it is? I've seen Rice play, obviously, the preseason game. Oh, sorry.
What?
Your whistling just put him off completely.
Oh, sorry, because he said he's going outside. I thought go low, like.
Always. Yeah,
Yeah.
We can see you. That was Cass whistling, not your.
Nah, my connection
think
bugged.
it's-
My connection.
It is
Yeah,
bugging.
his
It's bugging.
connection
It's
is-
bugging.
Connection's doing the
You might
most.
need Tyler Boone to pay
Can
for that.
you? Can I spin the question a little bit? In
Please
two
spin
pieces?
it, Mo.
Number one, who is a more risk? Caicedo for 100 million as they want, or Rice for 100 million? Who's more risky?
Caicedo.
Caicedo.
Thank you. Number two, would you rather have Amrabat? This is just genuine. It's not my opinion. Would you rather have Amrabat and Onana?
Fence sitter.
Amrabat and Mason Mount. I'm talking midfield together. Amrabat and Mason Mount together for 80 million, or Caicedo for 100 million? Question for Cass.
Ooh, great question, that.
Because Cass is the one who raised this up. Cass said it's value for money. It isn't just the player. We're talking about the player. Caicedo is the better player. But is it
Can't
value
lie.
for money?
I can't lie, because of the age of Caicedo, I love Amrabat, man, and I love the price, and I don't mind Mount for what it is if he's a bench rotational player. But I think if you're saying Caicedo, how much?
100 million. They asked him for 100 million. They just rejected 90.
No.
Have they? What? Hold on. Did they really just reject
You
90?
know what? But if you're going to ask me,
They
would you
rejected, I don't know, Cass can correct me. How much did they reject?
80 million pounds?
Oh, it's not 90.
Okay.
I thought it was one below that.
So I
Okay,
thought it went higher than that, but I don't know. I can't lie. The valuation of 25 million for Amrabat has just got me by the soul, man. I'll be real, and I can't deny that. Whenever you come to Man United and you look at price tag, any little thing that you do that's wrong is going to get highlighted. And who says he's going to fry? But I can't lie. I would, if they said 80, if you said 80 million Caicedo, and would you rather have Mount or would you rather have Mount and Amrabat? I'm choosing Caicedo, man. If it was 80 million, but 100 million, I don't think I'm prepared for my club to go through them stages again right now. You know, unless it's someone like Harry Kane, because it's not a major position that we need to fill in DM like that because of Casemiro currently. You know, I'm not gasping for it. If that makes sense.
My problem is, so I'm going to answer the question that I asked. My answer is Mason Mount isn't actually someone who I would go for the 55 million. My problem is that Mason Mount should not be a starter. At the moment, he might revise and get his value back and get his form that he was at Chelsea player of the season before, but that's too much of a risk for me. The same talk that I had for Havertz is the one I'm going to have for Mason Mount. Yes, Mason Mount is less of a risk than Havertz, but Mason Mount is the more risky signing. For 55 million, that's too much of a risk.
Hold on. More risky than Caicedo, yeah?
100%.
55 for Mount is more risky than 100 for Caicedo.
90, if you say so.
Do you think of agendas while you're walking up the stairs?
No, I don't. It's actually, I actually think that for the 55 plus 5 they offered or whatever, I think they could have gotten way more value if they put 20. Okay, he's putting me off. He's really putting me off.
So it was only a bit wind.
If they put 20 more or 25 more and they get a Caicedo, it's a better value.
Oh, hold on.
Because of Mason Mount.
No, hold on. Mason Mount 55 plus 5.
66. Okay.
Right, 55 plus 5, so let's say 60. And I'm not even going to deep it. Caicedo, we're saying, is 90 to 100.
It's 90 because they rejected
Okay,
75
let's
plus
say
5.
let's say 90. Let's say 90. It might go to 100 because that's what we think Brighton want. But let's say 90. You just said that Mason Mount 60 plus 20. Mo, you're a clever guy. You said 20. Now you want to put 25. But either way, 25 still. How have you made 60 plus 20 be 90 to 100?
Okay, 25, 85.
Bro, come on. Let's stick with consistency. These agendas need to be foolproof.
Why is this an agenda? If I'm saying
Well,
Mason
because you've just gone 60 plus 20
for
equals
6
90.
I think Mason Mount for 60 million is more of a risk. Okay, let me just put it without money and everything.
Without
Sorry,
agendas.
without Mason Mount for 60 million is more of a risk than Caicedo for a 90. I think Caicedo for a 90 is that's what I think in my opinion. Mason
Recency
Mount
bias?
probably absolutely 100%, because that's what you base the valuation on. If we're gonna say not recency bias, so Havertz is worth 70 million because his form at Leverkusen was fantastic. So absolutely,
No, I hear it. You know what? It's the valuation.
This is a bit wild.
If you said a Caicedo 80 million, then I'm all for it. Like I'm cussing. I was
It's
doing
the 100
like,
mil mark.
It's 100 mil when I need about 2-3 midfielders, or let's say 2 midfielders to cover that. And you're going to tell me what's more of a risk? Would you rather want? Do you want someone that can cover like maybe 2 positions? And
I think that's. But Cass, that's because you know where your club is, right? And this is a thing that Ten Hag knows the budget he's got to work with, right? And he knows the gaps he needs to fill. He knows he needs a goalkeeper. He knows he needs one more DM, and he knows he needs at very least a striker. And he knows the budget, right? Do I think if he had Qatar money, he'd go for the fake Haaland, Onana? He'd probably go for. To be fair, he probably still would go for Onana. To be fair, but. Would he go for Amrabat and the other guy? I don't think he would. But that's the budget he's got to work with. And in hindsight, if you're talking 100 million or almost get 3 players for it, you'd go for the 3 players because that's where they are at the moment. And we have to be real. This with Caicedo, absolute talent. He's had an amazing season. But come on, he hasn't had 3-4 seasons doing it. So we can't make him levels. Look, there's a conversation between him and Lavia. There is, because they've both had one good season. Whether you like it or not, it is a conversation. Because
it isn't for me.
Okay, Mr. Money, it should be, because you're so bothered about how much people spend.
Yeah, it isn't for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, Caicedo played under De Zerbi, one of the most progressive coaches in the league, making Europe. While Lavia, yes, he was good for Southampton in a relegated team. So Caicedo played in the World Cup, was really good, played for Brighton, was a key figure in that Brighton team that made Europe. So I think Caicedo
double the money. You know,
I think actually, in my opinion, he's tripled the value.
You know what? Yeah, I think I'm more impressed. I would be more impressed if Chelsea walk away from this, and because they've done such good with their, climbing back money that they were forking out. Now they recuperate loads of wages, recuperate lots of sales and stuff like that. I want to know their alternatives, because they've already got Andre Santos, who Chelsea fans seem to rate, correct? So, and he's going to be so he could be a potential signing of the season. Before you know it, he could do a Caicedo and show everyone like, I'm that guy, But I think I'd be more impressed if I can see an alternative to what Chelsea might look at and think like, look, we've got an 80 million stretch budget for a DM. What else is out there to go and grab? And I think when I'll deep it, I think they just need a bit of PNP in that middle of the field, anyways. In the DM.
Talking about Caicedo going to Chelsea, an alternative.
Yeah, but don't you feel like I hear you, and I said this last night. The moment we're acting like there's only 1 or 2 DMs left on the market. The truth is, there's a lot of footballers, and like I said, we didn't know that Elise had a release clause of 35 million. Right, no one would have spoke him as a winger that City needed. Then the minute it comes up, actually tied it. But with Chelsea, I get that, but it's where we are in the transfer window, and it's where we are with the season starts in 3 weeks' time, and how much they've invested in Caicedo. It's like the scouts have clearly made it very clear to Pochettino, or Pochettino as that Caicedo is someone that fits perfectly in what they need. That they've spent this long trying to get it done, to now walk away, I would presume for you to put this much effort into trying to get him, you think is important, right? 100%. Otherwise, why have you spent this much of the summer trying to get a player unless he's pivotal, right?
Go on, carry on, Daps.
So now to walk away is a bit like, if it wasn't that important, why didn't you walk away 2 weeks ago?
And do you know what? I'll be real with you. I don't obviously say I rebooted my internet. It's fresh now. I'm going to say that I understand why Chelsea fans and the Chelsea board want Caicedo, because for me, he is the perfect blend. Forget the money. In terms of a personnel, he's the perfect blend of Premier experience, but defensive mindset and pace and power. He can ball carry. He's decisive in the final, in the first phase. He wins the ball back. He's strong. He's mobile. He can pass through the lines if he needs to. He can start attacks. I feel like he's like the perfect all-rounded kind of midfielder. And I think for 80 million, all teams, bar probably Man City, would take a Caicedo. So I just feel like for the long term of what you're getting in terms of what he's under 23 or whatever it is, his age, you're getting a player that you know is going to be sick. Like he's like Gary, he's like Kante. When you sign a player and you just know when they're fully fit, they're going to be so good. I just feel like with Caicedo, you know he's going to be so good. And I feel like with Enzo as well, we've always said to get the best out of Enzo, you need someone who's going to be a ball winner next to him, who can do sort of that dogged work as well and allow Enzo to be Enzo. Because we've already seen in the 6 months, Enzo's very good on the ball, but he's never had someone next to him to give him that protection. He's kind of had to do both roles. I feel like Caicedo is perfect. And even at 80 million or 90 million, whatever it is, the price is the price now because that's what football is. But we're talking Declan Rice a bit later because there's something I want to say on him. But with Caicedo, I just feel like he's the perfect tailor-made player for Pochettino. And also, by the way, let's not forget, Caicedo is not even at his peak. We were talking the other day, Daps, about defensive midfielder. We were talking about Rodri, Fabinho, and all these players saying when they get to like 27 onwards, that's their prime. If Caicedo's 4 or 5 years below that, he's not even going to be hitting his prime yet. So Chelsea are getting a player which, with Pochettino, we saw at Southampton how he coaches young players. He can make Caicedo even better than what he is now. So for me, if I'm Chelsea, I'm trying to think of alternatives that would have the impact that Caicedo does. And if money's not a problem, I don't really see any.
I just feel like for me that look, we need to put sense into this, right? And this is everything to do with football. We need to put sense into this and realize that football, it's got people that know what they're doing, right? We can talk about who people need and whatever else. It's got scouts, and I think Cass, you brought this up last night, right? That we'll talk about GA and we'll talk about all of that, right? But scouting systems are far more advanced than that. Yeah, scouting systems is a manager telling scouts he trusts what he needs to fit his plans, and scouts that know what they're doing. Most managers have their own scouts because they really know what they're doing. Go out and find players that F the GA, F any stats, they fit what they want, right? Now, I'm going to go back to what I just said before. Chelsea have very clearly put a high value on Caicedo, that he's very important. So for me, 4 weeks into the transfer window being open, for them to now pull out of it, they'd better have a very good plan B. Otherwise, they've wasted 4 weeks.
I don't think they pull out that. I don't think they pull out.
I don't believe it.
They're not pulling out.
These scouts have made Pochettino know this is the guy. This is the guy.
Like, people think they're pulling out after doing all this groundwork, bidding 80 million, and the fact that there may be 10 million in total off. They're just trying to find an agreement. They will get the Chelsea have to get this deal done because it's their priority midfielder. They've not even been linked to a second and third. They've not even been linked to an Amrabat who's 30 million. They've not been linked to anyone else.
Do you know how you can look at this? You can look at this, the other players they're linked to. Even if we look at on the right wing, they've been linked with Kudos. They've been linked with Elise. They've been linked with Shirky, right? So in other positions,
that's well, to be honest, Daps is way better looking than DJ Khaled.
I'm trying to think
what
what
it
it says.
Me. Okay, they could have said
you smart.
I'm seriously thinking Daps is way better looking than DJ Khaled.
I'll take that. Listen, I wish I had his money, but
with the fresh trim and stuff.
Khaled gets trimmed. I swear, Khaled gets trimmed like twice a day. To be fair, so listen,
he probably does. He probably does.
But no, I just think that we know in other positions they've got 3 people they're being linked with, whereas DMs we ain't seen them linked with no one else. It's like there's no other.
So here is the thing about him. I'm still thinking that Caicedo on the market, and we spoke about this Daps before. There are 2 possibilities here. Someone else, like a Bayern Munich or something, come in with a good bid, or a Barcelona or someone else.
What for Caicedo?
That they can raise the money. City did it with Rice. You might go for him. I think actually he suits Pep Guardiola just because of the Zerbi really well. By the way, but Calvin Phillips look good. As of now.
Really?
Look okay.
Come on, Bob.
Other problem.
You don't have to say this. It's fine. You can be honest.
No. he doesn't look as bad as last season. My other thing is now 2-3 games into preseason for Brighton. De Zerbi might be able to convince Caicedo to stay one more year, improve his contract, and tell him we'll put a release clause in your contract for next year, and I promise you'll get a better move because you're gonna win Europa League or you're gonna go far in Europa League. Chelsea don't play. The reason why I said that, because Kudus, and I know we're not talking about Kudus now, just said that I want to play for Arsenal instead of Chelsea because of Champions League. This is reported. So for me, play in Europe, increase your stock, raises the value of your stock. Yes, playing for Chelsea is good and everything. Chelsea is a way bigger club than Brighton. But at the moment, Brighton look good. They have really good project going on. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of.
Mo, let me throw you a question then. So because Brighton are in Europe, and if Caicedo potentially stayed and they don't pay up the 90 million, whatever they want, if Brighton have a good season in Europe and a good season in the Premier League, what could his price inflate to?
120, 130.
Cass,
Listen, if Enzo Fernandez, if they put, I'm going to tell you, if they put a release clause in his contracts for 120, and he has a good season, pivotal with them, they get to a semi-final, they're still in Europe next year, they get a 6th or a 7th or an 8th, they still play Europe, someone will come in, pay the 120, and get him off their books.
Hold on. Here's the key. Here's the key to the price of a player. The key to the price of a player is supply and demand, right? So this summer, United look like they've got Casemiro. They look like they're going to get Amrabat, yeah? City have got Rodri, and the plan is that Calvin Phillips comes good. Agreed. If he doesn't, we might be in the market next season. Liverpool look like they're going to do whatever they need to do on midfielders this season. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with Arsenal again, that if none of the big teams are in for a DM next season, Brighton won't get 120 million. The only reason this summer these inflated prices on DMs is because a lot of the big clubs need DMs, right?
I'm going to tell you who's going to be in a DM need next season, Daps.
Please do, Mo. Please do.
Real Madrid, Modric and Kroos are leaving.
Modric DM since when?
No, like an 8, like they have Bellingham playing higher.
No, we're talking DMs. We're not talking 8s.
I don't consider him like a proper destroyer, like a Paulinho type. I think Caicedo, you guys said he is absolutely can play higher than a DM.
No, we didn't. No. We actually said that we know Rice can play an 8 and Rice can also play the 6. With Caicedo, we said we know he can play the 6. We think he might be able to play the 8. We didn't say he can, because there's no proof of that whatsoever. None.
Yeah, by the way, they got Tchouameni and Camavinga that can play.
Yes, and then Camavinga looks like he's actually going now into midfield.
They'll go get the next best thing if they need another 8, to be fair, and whatever. Whenever you ever know.
Who's the next biggest thing?
You don't know, but I don't think they can go get Zubamendi. That smells like a Real Madrid signing as backup. You know, that's what I'm thinking anyways. By the way, people, let me just quickly do this. CFC Nil says, happy birthday to Daps. People don't know.
Thank you, sir.
So I need to wait for another hour for my birthday. And says, love the content, guys. Appreciate the super chat as well.
And best star sign in the world, Leo's. Salute to every Leo.
That's my brother. Allow it, man. He's a dickhead. But anyways, other than that, please smash the like button, people, as well. It is Daps' birthday. And if you smash the like for Daps as well on his birthday, it'll be much appreciated. And it pushes out to the next person. And we have a great chat. And also, if you ain't joined our Twitter chat as well, Never a Foul one, it is hectic. It is shameless. So be prepared. If you want to join, just message me on Twitter, MUFCCAS. But yeah, man. Lavia apparently.
Let's talk about Jackson and Nkunku then.
Jackson. Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Jackson or Nkunku for you?
Who's going to be the better signing for me?
Yeah.
Hold on. We can do this if you want. No, we can do this if you want, but
go on.
We're comparing two Chelsea players.
Oh, we're going to say which is going to be the better signing. Do you reckon, in your opinion, who's going to have the better season
for the first season?
All right. So what we're doing tonight is the one time that I've said I'm willing to let my guard down and be shameless. You want to compare two Chelsea players where ultimately either way I'm boosting the Chelsea player.
We're doing loads.
I wanted to do like who's going to have a better first season, Jackson or Darwin Núñez or something. But if you don't want to do this, then fair enough.
No, we got to raise the signings first.
You just said that. Are you talking about Darwin Núñez last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know, because Mo, you told me earlier that Chelsea fans are saying that Jackson's going to get the Golden Boot next season.
I've got a better one. Wait, I've got a better one.
Yesterday evening, me and Kaz did the show, and Chelsea fans appeared from nowhere. Oh, Jackson is the
I've got a better one. Jackson is an unknown entity that from Villarreal. He's not exactly the most known player. Let's say Hojlund. We're gonna have to do this on this basis. Jackson's was worth about what 30 million.
87 million euros. I don't know how
half
much
the
is
price
that.
of your man, mad.
Half the price of potential Hojlund, who's going to be probably about 55 million total or something like this. Could be a little bit more. Who's going to do better?
Jackson.
Oh, got back my boy Hojlund.
Sorry.
Got back my
I
boy
wanted
Hojlund.
to come on here and slander Jackson, but I'll be honest, Jackson.
No, but they're both in the same boat. Like, you know, they both scored probably the same amount of goals and assists, and I think in the same sort of minutes as well, roughly. And Jackson's more the hold-up kind of type, and he can run in behind. He's probably a jack of all trades near enough.
Yeah, he is. He's quite all round.
But then again, they also tip like because we've seen what Jackson can do in pre-season at this moment of time, and it's more visual. Hojlund's also been tipped to have a lot of these qualities. And
you know what though? Do you know anything that worries me about Hojlund? And I saw it today is that I feel like Jackson has already shown Pochettino in a few games that he can lead the line if he needs him to. He can hold it up. He can run in behind. He's got that aggression as well. Like he's fighting for the ball in the corner flag and doing them little gritty things you need in the Prem. If Hojlund comes, I've already seen today that Hojlund might actually be played on the wing just to adapt to the Premier League, and Rashford will play up front. So if he comes in as a 55 million striker and doesn't play striker straight away, then already I'm thinking Jackson's playing in where he needs to be played and where he wants to be played. Hojlund's coming in and he's not always playing up front. So he might have an adaptation year, whereas Jackson, I feel like, can come in and he might hit the ground running like we're seeing so far. So Jackson,
you know what?
Maybe.
We did a show the other day where we talked about the importance of a transfer window and of a pre-season. And don't get me wrong, as a club that doesn't have much of a pre-season, but sometimes those 3-4 games can be massive. So what you just said there, that Jackson has had a chance to build the confidence and play in the 9 role, whereas already your manager's going, because he's going to join us late, I'm going to start him out wide. And that is a difference of 3 or 4 games that already you're going to take away a guy's confidence by playing him in a position that he's not used to playing. For me, that would tell you already. It's a bit like when Arsenal signed Laporte and didn't start him straight away, and they decided to start Lacazette.
Oh, okay.
And they decided to start playing him through the middle just before, just as Aubameyang arrived. It's you've benched him for too long. You've ruined his confidence. Now you want to put him in the team, and you can't take a number 9 and go, well, I don't think you're ready, so I'm going to play you out wide.
Exactly. And I think in that space of a few months, or if he does it for like even 2 months, the time that Jackson's got in the experience playing up front and actually getting used to the players around him, knowing what runs to make and stuff like that. When Hojlund then goes up front, we've then got to build that new connection. So it's not that Hojlund's a bad player. It's actually the fact that we've now got to get used to Hojlund. So Hojlund's now going to need time. So by the time that you're looking at after January, by the time you might hit the ground running, we don't know, but this is hypothetical. So I think Jackson could have a good season, man, because there's no expectation on him either.
It's also what he brings to the rest of the team, by the way, as well. Sterling could rise under him as well. I was
going to say, I might tip him to be one of the best, top 3 best signings of the window, just from valuation.
The price is mad for a forward. That price could,
That's what I'm saying. It's because of that and on the potential that I can see. But let me. I got another question then around it. Chelsea have got to embed quite a few new players in the attack and who knows how they're going to create chances in the Premier League. Man United are quite known now to create a lot of chances, just not finish them off. Now, let's say Hojlund's in the right positions. Who's going to have more opportunity to go score more goals in that with the Chelsea
Depends
team?
where they play Hojlund.
or with the Man United team.
Well, if Hojlund's on the wing, it's not going to be him, is it?
This is what I'm going to say. How many chances is this Chelsea team going to absolutely set up for Jackson to go score? Or is he going to have to...
The thing we don't know, though. New coach, new style of play. He's already contributing in pre-season. Yes, it's only pre-season, but that's the sample we've got to take. So right now, we always know, right? Do you know what the funniest thing is Chelsea? Do you remember they signed Shevchenko? It didn't really work. Italian striker, obviously, well, not Italian striker, played in Italy, come over and stuff like that. They signed Falcao, didn't really work. Samuel Eto'o, do you remember he came over towards the end of the career? Didn't really work. The strikers that have always worked for me at Chelsea have been in sort of physical strikers. When you look at Drogba, Diego Costa. And when you look at, exactly. And when you look at Jackson now, I know he's not Drogba or Costa, but he's showing traits of he can have that physicality. He can run the channels. He can do the gritty stuff. Chelsea have never had really a striker that's just like a tippy-tappy striker that's just going to get himself on the end of things. They like a striker that can do a bit of everything, and they seem to be the ones that succeed. And that's why I think Jackson might actually be a profile that succeeds at Chelsea, just because he can do a bit of that everything. He gets himself about. Chelsea don't have strikers that just score goals and they don't do nothing for all the game. You've always known strikers to be a nuisance. When Costa was going to Etihad, that was probably thinking, it's long. Drogba going to Manchester United, you're always like, Drogba's going to annoy Vidic. Like, Jackson seems that type of striker that he will just annoy you. He might not even score, but he will contribute because he's just getting himself about. And strikers at Chelsea always thrive on physicality and stuff. And that's why I think he'll be good.
Exactly like Lukaku.
Oh, you're mocking it.
No, but Jackson actually has technical
Does he
ability.
throw his toys out the pram? That's the difference.
Yeah. Jackson has a first touch.
Well,
Whereas Lukaku has a first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Exactly.
He still ain't got it under control.
Imagine a Lukaku, the one that used to be back at West Brom, the one that used to be back at Everton. Like, he wasn't really getting standard for that touch of his. He was a touch and goal
He was
guy.
running the channels, though, cutting in from the right and banging them in and stuff.
People forget how good Lukaku used to actually be.
Bro, look, as a goal scorer, we can't knock it. The guy's a goal scorer. Like, everywhere he's been a goal scorer. He's just throws his toys
other than one place.
He's like, do you know what? I'll be honest. He's like a poor man's Anelka. Anelka threw his toys out the pram everywhere, right? Anelka was someone that he'd end up leaving your club and he'd get bored and go elsewhere, but he'd score goals while he was at your club, 100%.
And actually, I think the signing that is going to go under the radar is Nkunku because of Jackson.
Well, you gave it 9 out of 10, so.
Yes, because Jackson is going to, I believe that based on what I saw I never watched that guy before, based on what I saw in the preseason, I think Jackson will start up top for Chelsea. He's so good. He's very good. Physical, as everybody said. I think Nkunku is going to go under the radar because I think Jackson might have the output, the numbers. But I think Nkunku will be essential to them.
So, you two, correct me if I'm wrong, did you two watch the Chelsea game last night?
Yeah.
Right, so, because obviously I've seen and heard on the earlier show, I didn't watch it at all, but Chelsea fans, look, to me, I looked at it 1-1 against Newcastle, doesn't tell me much. But from Chelsea fans, they seem very happy. Did Chelsea look really damn good? Is that what it was? Did Chelsea look?
They looked okay.
No, to an extent. You know what? The first half, they were impeccable, but our Newcastle are getting their rhythm. The Newcastle that I know.
That's the thing about it, that anything from Chelsea will look good after last season. Anything will look good. That was the problem. Like, Newcastle still controlled the ball. Newcastle still controlled the tempo of the game. Newcastle still moved the ball more. But Chelsea looked dangerous on the counter.
Chelsea had the best fullbacks in the league, by the way.
Yeah, Chelsea looked dangerous on the side.
Easy.
But Newcastle still had the majority of the play. But anything from Chelsea, they looked very efficient, Chelsea. So Caicedo looked fantastic. That guy on the right side, I don't know his name.
Maatsen.
Yeah, and he's been playing left wing.
Yeah, he looked absolutely. He looked ridiculously.
Don Greasy's been talking a lot on him. See, the thing is, if we look at Chelsea,
he needs to go back to Burnley. If he's not going to get game time, Company needs that man.
But bro, this is the thing with Poch.
He's been playing him left wing. Not even.
But the thing is, I've seen Poch saying Poch is rating him. The one thing we have to remember, this is new for Chelsea because Chelsea's always been very predictive as far as their peaks and troughs of winning stuff dropping off, their peaks and troughs of sacking managers, the way they play football. And I always said that under Todd, I feel like Todd Bowley wants to take them to a next level and make them more sellable, as in a brand of football, right? And Pochettino also will give people a chance. Like, he's not a manager that will come in and go, like, I'm going to play these players because they cost the most. He will give youngsters a chance. So, but what you just said there about the balance of their fullbacks, me and Ty said this a year ago. And if you look at last season, the amount of goals they conceded, they had a very good defense last season. And as fullback wise, they've got on the left, they've got Cook that I know of. They've got Cucurella,
Cinderella,
and Chilwell. Right, and if we're going to be the same about every other Chelsea player, Cucurella had a bad season, so did a lot of their players. So we can't necessarily judge him on that, right? They've got Chilwell, who for me over the last 5 years has been one of the best left backs in the league. Admittedly, he's had injuries, but when he's played, he's been very good. On the right, they've got Reece James. Again, injuries is a problem, but away from that, one of the best right backs. And then they've got the new guy that all I hear is great reviews about him.
Gusto.
Yeah, and then from what Don Greasy was saying last night, they've got a few fullbacks I don't even know about. So I think they've got quality. And in defence, that's not the issue. It's in the middle of the park. They get that right. All of a sudden, Chelsea could compete with like you, man, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're not far off of that in my points. We got a few super chats as well. Slim Ake says, happy birthday, Daps. Big Leo season, more life / trophies.
You, bro.
And the little thing he signed. So big up for that one.
Signed that, isn't it?
Tarek says, keep up the good work, lad, and big up as well. Love for that Tarek for that super chat. And then Skip to Malu, one of our members, says, happy birthday, Daps. Hope this is enough to cover a drink in the UK. LOL. Expecting my first door in October. Congratulations. And seeing you and yours makes me feel even more excited about it.
Listen, thank you very much. And it affords probably about 2 drinks in England of what I drink. And also
what you take.
Yeah, one of these actually, yeah. But congratulations on conceiving a daughter, and it is the best gender to have, trust me. So enjoy, but get ready, get the sleep in, bro, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, and also, guys, if you are a member already, look out for this weekend. We're gonna be updating the membership, something that we're gonna be doing every single week that you guys will definitely favor, especially new content creators as well, if you're a member here, or people that just want to just vibe with us on it. And I'm going to give you a little sneak peek who would just want to vibe with us as well, potentially, from what you've been seeing all week and all year round as well. So definitely, if you want to become a member, it's in the description below. The more members, the better. And we'll be another little sneak peek. We'll be probably selecting 2 to 3 per week, if interested, of course, as well. But yeah, I appreciate all the likes. They go a long way. But yeah, so moving a little bit off the Chelsea mark, I think Ty said he wants to speak on the Rice part. And obviously, of course, valuation. When you think of valuation, the best signage, you think of price a lot of the time, right? And then you put them towards their ability to the sword. But I think another one is I have to say, it's going to go under the radar, who I think it's going to fit like a glove. And I think I saw glimpses of it yesterday as well against Barcelona, is Jurriën Timber. 37 million pounds, left back, right back, inverted, and I think he can definitely help Saka's game a lot. You know, when Saka needs help on that right hand side, where Ben White doesn't get up as much. Timber, I think, will go down as top 3 best signings, and I'm convinced on that. In my opinion,
do you know what, Ty? Before, because I know Ty, you're gonna really deep it because you know a lot more about him than me. But for me, I'm a bit surprised at how little Arsenal fans are celebrating it, to be frank with you, because I actually think this could be as important as either of the other 2 signings. And when they're saying Ben White and, Timber's great backup, I don't think he's backup at all.
Nah, do you know what? This is why I like that we're talking about it now, because I'm going to put it out there. I think you Arsenal fans out there, for the first season, and I'm making it clear, first season, Timber's going to have a better season than Rice. The bottom line for me is that with Timber, playing at an Ajax team that like to keep the ball, he's already comfortable in possession. He's played DM before, even though he's not played it many times, but he's comfortable going into that area, which Zinchenko, for example, he likes to do with Arteta. Timber can play centre-back. He can play right-back as well. And I think he's just going to find the adaptation period much easier than what Declan Rice is. Declan Rice played against us. I'm not saying Declan Rice is a bad player, but Declan Rice played number 6. And obviously struggled against us, if I'm personally honest, against Manchester United. But it doesn't mean that he's going to have a bad season. I think Partey's a better number 6 than what Rice is at Arsenal. And I think Declan Rice will be better as a number 8. However, when you think about the football that West Ham played, and now Arteta is going to play this possession base and dominate, Declan Rice has now got to play all of a sudden a different type of football. And when you're playing in the middle of the park, you've got to be aware. You've got to try and impact games. And I feel like Timber's seeing the whole pitch in front of him, coming from a possession-based team at centre-back and right-back. He's going to be much more... He's going to find it much more easier to adapt. And I think Declan Rice is going to take a season to get used to the way Arsenal play and to get used to playing the way that Arteta wants him to, whether it's a number 6 or number 8. So for the price as well, Timber, 45 million, the age he is, the long term, the longevity, I think this is a very good signing. When you look at Declan Rice for 105 million, no matter what people want to say, people are going to be watching him and expecting an instant impact when Arsenal potentially meant to be challenging for the title. So
sorry, Mo, before you go, before you go, there's a reason why I'm asking this. Cass, can you give me your opinion, please?
On
Timber.
defensively shocking, but everything else great.
What do you think of the signing overall?
I think it's a 10-10 type signing.
Right, okay, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to little agenda that you think our channel has against a certain club. These are two Manchester United fans who have just missed out on a player that they got linked with for a season. And they've both just rated an Arsenal signing.
Yeah, I think he'll be the best out of the three.
What are you
Havertz,
trying
Rice,
to
and Timber.
justify the thing for Arsenal?
Why are you so angry, bro?
Come on.
Havertz,
don't
Rice,
have
and
an
Timber.
agenda.
Timber
No,
will be the best out of the three.
Mo, what I'm trying to show is that people that think this channel has an agenda against anyone, I've just proven. Because United hate Arsenal.
Agenda coming. Agenda coming.
If you Mo,
well, you. That's because you
Agenda
hate the
is
Premier
coming.
League.
I'm
You hate
saying
the
Mo,
Premier League.
that
Mo
out of
genders.
Declan Rice, Timber, and Havertz, I think Timber will have the best season out of the three.
Yes.
For the first season.
Number
Do you
one,
agree with
to
that?
answer Daps' question, why Arsenal fans are not
Arsenal.
celebrating enough Timber? Because they are busy defending Havertz. That's why. That's why they are not celebrating Timber. Okay, they're going on every stream. They're trying to defend Havertz. But let me ask Ty a question.
Mhm.
I listened to what you said about Declan Rice, and I agree with you in every single word, you and Cass. Does that mean Arsenal regressed? If Rice is going to play in the 8 and Party is the same Party, Odegaard is the same player, Saliba, everybody's the same, and Declan Rice is going to take time to adapt to the 8 role on the left. And they had one of their best players last year was Granit Xhaka. Goals, outputs, defensive abilities, every duty on the game. Do you think they regressed then?
I
No.
don't, just because it's a team game, and I feel like the other 10 will enable him to be more comfortable in getting in. If you went to another team and he was playing number 8, I think they could regress because he's having to adjust. The fact that he's having to adjust still and adapt, but the other 10 players already know the system and the way around it. He's going to be able to he's going to be able to fit in a little bit quicker. Or how should I word it? The deficiencies that Declan Rice has, they'll be able to mask it more because Partey, Odegaard, and then they've got Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, and all these players. They know the system so well. They'll be able to cover it. So he will just slowly get better. But definitely in terms of number 6,
one sec as well. Like, can we stop? Like, Xhaka had a very good season in very informed. Let's not go on like he was anything of a world beater. Like,
no, he just had a good season. He wasn't like amazing.
He's had 1.5 good seasons in his whole career.
And also, when it hit crunch time, Xhaka wasn't there. So
I'm not being funny. I don't think it will be hard for Declan Rice to excel what Xhaka did. I don't look at Xhaka as anything mad creative or anything special in any area. He's just
Is that a debate? Is that actually a debate if Declan Rice is an upgrade?
No, but yeah, because Mo's part was
this Xhaka rating needs to stop. Declan Rice, ceiling. I'm sorry,
above Xhaka. Don't get me wrong.
Declan Rice is definitely going to be a better 8.
Declan Rice's ceiling. This is as a City fan. Trust me, everyone thinks that we got beat to the race and we wanted him and didn't get him. I'm telling you, Declan Rice's ceiling, is, in my opinion, is so high. Like, it's a great signing for Arsenal. Like, I honestly think this guy in the 8 role could. I'm not going to say he's better than Rodri or anything like that, but his ceiling for me is very, very, very damn high. Very high.
Don't disagree. I'm talking about next season.
Yeah, I think Declan Rice will have an adaptation period. And he won't be that great next year.
I think he will.
I don't think he's
that means
next year, but after that,
your point, I don't disagree. I think Rice is definitely going to be a better player than Xhaka, right? Xhaka had 1 good season, 2 good seasons max. The thing for me is that when I watched Arsenal last year, Xhaka is the link. Is the one that recovers when they lose the ball up top.
I think
Is the one that gets involved, contributed goals, contributed assists in crunch times. Can Rice do that this year?
I think so.
Or is he going to do that the year after?
No, I think this year. I think this year.
Why? Look, you said, you think Arsenal might be regressive mode? That's your question. I don't think it was your statement. I say no.
No, it's actually a question.
Yes, no, I don't think they have.
But what I can see now is, don't people think that Arteta has the doesn't Arteta have the know-how to change the tactic up a little bit? Because we all say he became a predictable. How about Rice can cover up Zinni going a bit forward? Because what I saw was Timber getting further forward more than what I've ever seen Zinni do in a game, right? And then maybe the 8 covers the left back or the right back position a little bit more. So that's where they got Rice to cover up, because that will be his job rather than going forward. Because I'm not being funny. During Timber going forward and Zinni, they're still very, very attacking players, which allows Rice to be a bit more of a defensive 8. And if you sacrifice the 8 a little bit, but he can still be in and around the area because they do go forward. But that allows your fullbacks to go a little bit further up. No.
So before you get to the super chats, Mo, what are you eating?
Chips.
Yeah, what are you?
No, they're not chips, mate. They're not chips.
Chips.
Where do you get what? They're not chips, bro. They're crisps.
They're crisps. See, another American thing.
Is that
Anyways,
because they make a crisp sound?
No, it's because you're in
But they
England, mate.
got chips from potato chips.
No, I don't know. No technicalities. They're crisps.
See, I went to technicalities and you said no, it is just crisps. That's how you
You're very
learn.
passionate about
You
your
know,
chips, aren't you?
It is, Matt. Yeah, it is Chris. Do you know what I find? Do you know what I think goes under the radar? I just think keeping Thomas Partey for me, I think
Where
so
did you
important.
get them
for
from,
Arsenal.
Cass? Sorry, where did you get them from?
Lidl, I think.
What, they
Sneaky
sold them?
bastard.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know.
No,
they
it's
sold
just the
branded
fact that
stuff
he
like
got them without me knowing.
Yeah, no, Mo only thinks about himself more time.
I think, yeah, keeping Partey though. I actually think that's still massive for Arsenal. I think if they actually let him go, I was kind of as a rival fan. I wanted him to go because I was thinking, you know what, he actually weakens them. But last night, look at him. He plays in number 6 already, and the way he's popping off passes
Instantly.
down the corner through the lines, he just knows what he's doing. It's like the players already know he's on their wave. Where with Rice, of course, there's that adaptation period, and you've got to adapt with challenging for a title, and that's why I think Rice.
Well, that's why I said about with City that to let Gundogan and Bernardo go in the same, to let your 2-8s go in the same window, and if you let Xhaka go, to then also let Partey go, a 6 and an 8 go. I think you're spot on. Like I've said, for me, keeping Bernardo is a bigger signing than if we went and got De Jong or went and got whoever, because Bernardo knows how to play under Pep, knows the system. Same with Partey. If they keep Partey's
a better 6 than Rice. Let's put it out there. Let's be real. Do you not agree with that?
Well, there's not. We've done a lot of shows with Arsenal fans, not just on this channel, where me and Casemiro are on other channels, and they'll defend Havertz, which I rate. They're defending their player. But when it gets to the point where we actually say to them, in all honesty, what is your best midfield 3? I don't think there's one that has actually truthfully come out and said anything but Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Yeah. And for me, that is a very, very good midfield. We'll have to say with potential because they haven't done it yet. But it's a good midfield. Yeah. The minute you take Partey out of that, it changes because Rice
something
drops
just is missing.
And then you're putting Havertz in there or something. But that 3 has potential to go all the way for me. It's a great midfield.
Here is something I'm going to say now. So forget the question that I asked. Now we're moving into, I think having Declan Rice and the 8 will allow Martinelli and Saka to score more goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They don't have to work as hard as Xhaka was sometimes the highest guy on the pitch. Sometimes Jesus would drop and Xhaka would be the guy in the 18 at the end of crosses. I think now with Rice, who I rate very highly, I think he runs a lot. I think he covers that left side really well defensively, especially defensively. It will allow Martinelli more freedom and to save his energy to stay up top more, and Saka on the right side as well. I think both of them increase on the goal tally of last year for both of them, which will account for the goals that Xhaka scored. That's my opinion.
I think, by the way, just to be clear, Rice does score as well. Rice can score goals. Like this, Rice can score goals. So don't be surprised if Rice sits in with a fair few and potentially more than he did at West Ham as well for Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think he.
Of course, for Arsenal should score more. Yeah. Automatically should score more. Jay here is saying Xhaka is far better passer than Rice, though. Rice has insane potential, but needs to prove he can do it first. He did already at West Ham, Jay. Rice is much better defensively, though. I agree in this matter, but I think Rice is a more balanced player than Xhaka, in my opinion. There is another super chat, but thank you for the support, Jay, all the way from Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Jay's involved a lot, so salutes, Jay. I think he leaves a lot.
Yes. Murad Almah, Xhaka did the dirty work, what Kai can do. My man, Nobody here is talking Kai playing number 8. None of us.
Kai Havertz is getting signed of the season in my book, so then he's not starting today anyways. Maybe
So
at the end of the
that's-
season.
Also, guys, over 750 of you here, hit that like button for us underneath your live chat, please, because it helps us move to the next person. I said it this morning. If you are selfish, don't hit the like button. If you want this channel to grow and have other people watching with you, please hit that like button. For me,
and
I
if you want to wish Daps a happy birthday, hit the like button.
And also, can I ask something? Because we're trying to look at how to improve as a channel. And last night, Kat and Mo stayed up till like, what was it, 3 a.m. boys,
3:30,
and did a show, and it had really good numbers. And I'm just intrigued to know. So if you're watching this right now, and it's a live show, when the live show ends, could you go on and comment saying I watched it live? If you're watching this right now and you're watching it back as a playback, could you go on and let us know? Because I'm quite intrigued to know. And this is a random, boring stat, but if you got time, could you help me? Because I'm trying to monitor how things are. But salute to you boys for staying up. Because
yeah, before I move on, no Mo, but that is what Arteta want to do, Kai as 8. About that, before I move to Onana, one of the things that me and Cass talked about many times is that we fear for Arsenal from Arteta's stubbornness. If he keeps doing that and trying it, it might be too late when it works. Already you're falling behind other teams. I'm afraid that he might be stubborn, but I don't think he's going to be stubborn because you cannot drop Partey as a 6 and Rice is the marquee signing. He has to play and you're not going to drop Odegaard.
This
Even
is what I said last night. And this is what I said. I don't know if I said it on Rant Show yesterday. It's funny you say that about the stubbornness because I actually was saying Arteta's biggest weakness. Because that question I asked you lot about the top 7 coach and who could leave first, but I asked it on Rant's show. And we were saying about Arteta, right? In regards to his way of playing, where Pep and Ferguson are able to adapt, they'll play a fixture and they'll be able to say, do you know what? Even though we want to play our way, they might conserve a little bit of something. I wouldn't say Pep as much, but Ferguson.
I was going to say,
so Ferguson, right? We won loads under Ferguson, but we didn't play amazing football. We just knew how to win. But sometimes Ferguson would be able to take away something, or maybe put Park Ji-sung in midfield just to nullify an opponent or win a certain way. Will Arteta be able to go into some big games and not always say, right, we want to dominate, we want to play this way? Sometimes you've got to take away something to then get a result, and it will be interesting to see if Arteta can do that this season. Because
that was definitely Pep last season, bro. Yeah. Me and Mo have spoken that so many times that Pep actually last season, it felt like he actually, and look, the proof is in the pudding because we achieved the most we've ever achieved. That it did look like in some games Pep was willing to give up a bit of possession.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do that sometimes to have a bit of give and take. And I was saying last night on Arteta, will he be able to do that this year? It will show growth if he does. And if not, then
why not, man? He's young. He's very young.
So,
as a manager.
we move into Man United. I'm gonna ask the Man United lot. Who's gonna have a better season? He's gonna have a better season. Is it Mason Mount or Onana?
I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna have to refine that. But I can't lie. I'm gonna have to refine it a little bit because it's not even just Man United. It could be anyone. I want to know people in the comments who's gonna have a bigger impact on the team, McAllister or Onana.
Who do you think?
Are you asking me?
Anyone. It's so easy.
Onana is going to have the biggest impact the Premier League has ever seen. Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Sorry. Let me rephrase it. After Haaland.
Yeah, but we're talking about.
You still ain't got me on your side by saying that, by the way.
Why? I'm not saying that to you because I don't want to be the.
So why I add McAllister in it? Because Liverpool's midfield has had to go through a massive rebuild, and you could say Man United's rebuild of the back structure and going forward playing new football is down to Onana. Now, McAllister allows Liverpool to play a different style of football than probably what they've had or more consistently. And also Onana will allow to be something as well going forward for Man United, whether they can adapt to a high line or whatever it may be, even just getting pressed as well. I'm saying who's going to be a better impact signing for their clubs, not who is the better signing. Who's going to make
Onana all day.
No, you got to say more than that. You got to say more than that. Come on.
Yeah, the way I think like
Onana.
Liverpool for me obviously have needed midfielders, But I think if you sign, right, I'm going to put it this way. If you signed McAllister for Liverpool and did not get Lavia or Szoboszlai, am I thinking that McAllister is going to change the way everything happens at Liverpool? The answer is no. If you said to me, Onana signs for Manchester United, but we didn't even sign Mason Mount, will Onana change the way Manchester United play? The answer is clearly yes. The defensive confidence, the high line, him sweeping, his passing through the lines, he brings so much to our game, and he's part of that spine as well. Then the simple answer for me is yes, Onana. Like,
I'm gonna have to
100%.
swing it. I'm gonna have to swing it because I'm a big fan of McAllister, and a lot of people think he's just good. And I think he's a very good player with a high ceiling.
Caicedo stands out more than me than McAllister.
That's
100%.
fine, but for me, Liverpool's issue was never goal scoring, and now it makes me think what they can really do. They got Alisson and everything, but that midfield is so dry, and now it's going somewhere. I can't lie. I think McAllister makes Liverpool score more goals.
Not
Because-
as dry as Mo's mouth after them crisps. Jesus,
Yeah, I can't
Mo,
like
put
hitting
yourself on mute for God's sake.
So, okay, Cass, let me ask you this then. Man United and Liverpool do not sign any other players. Man United sign Onana and McAllister signs for Liverpool. You think, based on just them two signing alone, you think McAllister would be better for Liverpool than what Onana would be for Man United?
I think it's the same.
Bro, what a question,
I think it's
Cass.
the same.
I think this is because exactly what Cass said and what Ty said. That Ty, what you said is spot on. Because the minute he asked the question, I was thinking, I massively rate the McAllister signing. I think McAllister is going to be good for Liverpool. But if they don't get the players round him right, it could make him look worse. And it won't be the case. It won't be the case. But it takes more than one player. And we all know Liverpool fans been telling us they need a couple of midfielders. Whereas I do honestly think Onana's going to change, massively the way you play out from the back. But I do also get what Cass is saying, because I rate McAllister highly. I think them two signings are two of the best signings this transfer window. So
I think when Gundogan left, I thought McAllister would be your perfect replacement for him. That's what I think with Sam.
I think Liverpool were too far advanced with it.
I know. If they weren't, I think McAllister at City, that would have been perfect as a Gundogan replacement because he can play as an 8, 10. He can do a bit of everything. But yeah, I just think Onana for me out of the two. I don't think McAllister will be a bad signing. I think it'll be a very good signing because they'll get other players around him. But Onana, 100% for me, I think has the bigger impact because solely on them as individuals, it changes a lot for us already.
Do you know why that comment's so funny? Because it's literally left field out of nowhere. The guy's just watching it and just remembered in his head something Mo said months ago. And like, this guy said, Brozovic, how was he today in your 1-1 draw with...
He actually the one that made us not win the game. The first half.
I mean, Martinez's miss as well. That might.
Yeah. About Onana thing, I saw Cass jumping on the couch yesterday when we were watching the game, seeing Onana dribbling the forward and passing a through pass to Maguire on the left. And he's like, what have I been missing? What is this the same football? We're like watching, and I told him, to be honest with you, Onana's going to expose a lot of Man United players. A lot of Man United players.
What, make Maguire look good?
Right, let's get one thing straight. At 2:30. No, you said Maguire, so that's a bit later than that. I was not jumping on the couch at that time when.
I was going to say, do I have to check the couch to make sure it's all right?
I wasn't. So Mo, just keep your lying. Your Mo genders keep striving, innit? You just a dirty lie, bro. This guy's a lie. He just cares about himself. Keep telling people this. They just don't believe me.
I care about myself, of course.
See what I'm saying? I think about.
To be honest with you, or not. Okay, so hear me out. McAllister might bring back Liverpool to a season ago when they were challenging for a quad. He might be a great, good player, fantastic player. Onana completely changes where Man United players on the pitch stand. Completely changes everything for them. Every player now has to take a different position than what they had with De Gea. No, but I saw Martinez on a halfway line and Onana's behind him. I saw Maguire go forward. I saw Luke Shaw having the ball to his feet at a halfway line as well. To be honest with you, I think McAllister is good with Salah, Gakpo, Luis Diaz and everything. I think Onana takes Man United way of playing football to a whole new level. That's what I call someone.
And you know what I think he'll do, Mo,
and
as well?
change everything.
He's gonna actually, in a good way, Onana's gonna kind of expose a few weaknesses in the other players because they've been comfortable doing what they do. Now they've got a keeper they need to trust and he's gonna come forward. They've got to be good on the ball as well in terms of his transition and getting the ball quickly off the keeper. So Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Dallo, Varane, who people sometimes question for his passing. These guys have got to be on it because Onana is going to be on it. So they've got to now raise their level. It's not just De Gea chilling, kick it back. He's going to go long. They just rush up to the halfway line. This is like, no, you guys are going to be involved now in every part of the build-up.
And can we go back? Was it when this conversation started? Did Mo say that he played Maguire through?
He did.
So are we saying that Maguire actually knows how to play football with Onana played up?
No, he lost it. He lost it. He lost it right away. He lost it after like.
Is Onana actually going to turn Maguire into a £150 million defender?
The man received the ball on the left. 3 steps later, and he just lost the ball. So it's fun.
Yeah, I've got one more question. Who's going to be as it currently stands, obviously through the signings that have only happened, and maybe the potential signings that are more than likely going to happen? Who's going to be the biggest under the radar signing currently for you?
Timber.
I've got one in mind.
Yeah, I think Timber's a good shout. You know.
Oh, I said under the radar. I think Timber's on our radar currently.
Oh, okay.
At this moment in time.
Well, I guess because we spoke on it earlier.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us.
I got one in mind.
Declan Rice. No,
someone's already said it in the comments for me.
I don't.
I know now. I'm not gonna cheat and say the name, but I know now.
I've got 2 names. Actually, it's true because we said it. We said one name earlier. Gusto was one of them, of course. I think there's 2 more.
Gusto, I love Gusto. Yeah, he's sick.
I've got 2 names, and they kind of similar.
Madison doesn't class as under the radar, by the way. No. I'm gonna go. Do you know what? Interestingly, I hope if he cooks, he'll be very good. I think Dan Juma at Everton could be very good.
I'm gonna say a lot of people say that. I'm gonna say Kovacic going to go under the radar because he's literally under the radar. One more name.
I feel like he's one champion.
One more name. The Hood at Brighton, because I saw me and Mo in Brighton versus Brentford yesterday. Wow, they look like they're not even missing McAllister. They didn't look like they missed Matoma.
That would make sense, bro. Going by the way they usually do it with Kovacic. Just to be clear, if anyone saw my face, I agree with you, but I guess because I'm a City fan, it definitely hasn't gone below the radar for me because like he's one of the main faces of every marketing that we've done this summer. But I think for the price and the way he's settled in, fully agree with you. I think people are going to be shocked about like they're going to see.
He looked very good for City the other day in the 6th role.
If you think the best Kovacic you saw at Chelsea, I think you'll probably see a better Kovacic than that at City because it's just he'll just it looks like he's so smooth with coming into the system already, but below the radar. I don't know if it's because it's a City signing. Is there any that are below the radar?
He's actually below the radar. I tell you why. Everybody told me that Kovacic is not even going to start.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
He'll be rotated, but that doesn't mean
he's a bench warmer. He isn't gonna start. He isn't good enough.
Yeah, he'll definitely start quite a lot of games. Like, but Pep there's no one like other than De Bruyne and Rodri. Really, there's no one that's a guaranteed starter because you don't have to because he just rotates it and like everyone's part of the team. I think the other one. I know
his boy Grealish.
Just quickly though, I see people mention Andingra because he scored 2 for Brighton yesterday. Obviously, Andingra done good last night for Brighton. To be fair, what happened? Andingra.
Is that how you say his name?
It's not. I'll say that again. Sorry, Ty.
I'm never saying
Andingra. Oh, is it, if it's got no D, then it's Adjunga.
Like, I have no idea. By the way, I don't know. I'm just asking you out of curiosity.
Well, a dinger is a card that's been ringed to me.
The other one I'm going to say is the City boy that's moved to Burnley. I think James Trafford, the Burnley keeper, could be sick.
Yeah. You said his name right. Why is this the way you said it?
I think the other one for me that I'm interested to see for me as a City fan, just to put my City hat on, is I'm intrigued to see what happens with Harwood Bellis and where he goes. Because I think
he should go back to Burnley, but I don't think he will.
For me, bro, for someone that last season he played at Burnley under Company, the season before he played at Anderlecht under Company, for me, stick with that style of football, go back and play. But I'm seeing other clubs come, like I've seen Everton in for him, and I'm thinking you've played on the Company for 2 seasons, and now you want to go play under Sean Dyche.
Yeah,
but I'm interested to see what happens.
I'm gonna ask a question. Sorry, I'm gonna do these super chats, and I'm gonna ask a question. Just came to say hi to Cass, Memphis Depay. So thank you so much.
Big up.
And then he's saying under the radar Vicario, Elanga, and Pau Torres for Aston Villa. A good shout, to be honest. Pau Torres very good. And the question to Cass:
I like how do you,
How do you think
I'm not a fan.
Anthony Gordon will do this year? Last thing.
Well, I'm only can judge Diana off one game at the moment, and he was very, very impressive. So, I said I'll take out the princess out of his name. Now go impress me more in preseason because I'll be watching, and we'll go from there. Because yesterday he was the spark and the lightning, man. I'll be real. He was the way he was just driving. I said it earlier. The way he was just driving a wedge into
left wing.
Yeah, from left wing driving into Chelsea's midfield goes to show that Chelsea badly need a DM, an experienced one. Because if Anthony Gordon can do it, I wonder what other players can do that if it's a slight weakness or a chink in the armor. But other than that, I think Gordon would look absolutely wicked, and I don't know what possessed him yesterday. I'll be real.
Let's see.
I mean, on to that guy so but I've slandered him.
I said to him earlier, what was the game like? He was like, Daps, because me and Cass don't like Anthony Gordon. He was like, I'm not gonna lie, Gordon was cooking.
And said maximum gone now, he can nail down that spot. Let's be honest. So it's a good chance for him this year.
Yeah, I just wonder if Almiron's going to keep his spot as well. Biz, I big up my guy.
Bro, big up with that. Biz, that's a bad boy shout. I think he's going to cook this season. I saw Smokey say it as well. Yao Pedro, I think this could be a bad boy sign. Him and
hold the bench. Yes.
I'll be honest. I was against Brentford yesterday. I was not impressed.
He's got that ability to play drift in the pockets, play that 10-9 role. I think De Zerbi's gonna love him.
It obviously might take time. It could because it's a long season anyways. But from what I've seen yesterday, he looks like he really needs to get learning that game. Watford don't know how to play football.
To be honest, he looks like so direct and like everybody else is passing the ball around, Brighton style, passing the ball, small pockets, and he took the ball and like, I'm dribbling 3 guys. I'm trying to dribble everybody.
He could be good. I think he might be one of them good ones. And Biz, by the way, me and Daps was saying earlier, cook up that good food. We're gonna see you Saturday, bro.
I am. I mean, need that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
guys, tomorrow, I know what we have in the pocket, but the notification bell is important.
We can tell them. We can tell them.
Have we confirmed it? Are we definitely going?
Yeah, it's done, 100%. Tomorrow, Terry Flewers will be on with us at night at 10:30. Pretty much after the Big Six. So, yeah, Terry Flewers is going on a different channel, coming to our channel, my channel. That one.
He doesn't decide when the show moves on. We decide when the show moves on.
It's going to be interesting. So, yes, the Football Terrace is coming to Never a Foul. So, yeah, watch out for that one. Big up everyone. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you slander Mo in the comments more. And big tie up for his scouting because he knows all that stuff. And make sure you tell Daps a happy birthday and smash the like on the way out. In a bit, don't forget the Mo slander.